Hello everybody, welcome to our webinar. On today's webinar we'll review ZAPTEST and the ways how we can work with mobile devices, how we can do test automation on mobile devices. Before I start, as usual, I will ask you to keep yourself muted. If you have any questions, comments, please submit them using WebEx chat. Address your question using private WebEx chats directly to me, who is host or presenter. Our webinar will consist of three parts. At the beginning, I will make brief introduction of ZAPTEST and ZAPTEST as a company. Then we will have a main part where I will demonstrate presentation regarding the topic of the webinar, and at the end I will allocate some time for Q&A session. Right, so first few words about ZAPTEST, who we are as the company. Also we'll talk about my ZAPTEST offerings. We have been in the business over 20 years. We position ourselves as a full stack cross-platform testing solution. With ZAPTEST you can automate applications on mobiles, Windows, Mac, Linux platforms. We fully support agile development methodology. As the company, we're based in Atlanta, Georgia. Our core technology is one script, which allows us to script test procedure once and execute it anywhere. We are the test optimization leaders, which means that with ZAPTEST we can automate any application, you can meet any development schedule, and you can accommodate any skill set of your team members. As a full stack technology, we provide end user test automation in a cross-platform fashion. This means that you can create your test script on one platform or environment and play it as is anywhere else. Besides that, we offer some technologies that are not commonly existed in the industry or offered in the industry. For example, with ZAPTEST, we can auto-generate test documentation. This normally offsets a lot of man hours of writing documentation manually. ZAPTEST can do it for you. We also have technology for parallel device execution. The MRun ensures just-in-time regression testing. With the MRun, you can connect to multiple devices with different platforms or different browsers and execute same test simultaneously on all of them. Also offer device host management private cloud system. Our clients can install on premise. The ZAP Farm offers test device management capability and provides universal access to the devices across organization for purpose of mobile application deployment, manual testing, automated testing, and parallel test device execution. With ZAPTEST today, you can do API or web services testing. You can use the tool for an API standalone test automation or for building combined API and UI testing frameworks. Recently, we released the load component, which enables our users to do API performance testing as a continuation of their quality assurance process. As you can see, today ZAP can be used as a one-stop solution for majority of quality assurance needs. Okay, during today's webinar session, I will automate tests by connecting to mobile devices, scanning their interfaces, building the test steps, running them using different approaches. In ZAPTEST, you can use two ways to connect and control a mobile device. You can connect to the device either through ZAP viewer, or you can use MRun interface for this. In the course of today's webinar, I'll show both ways. I'm going to use two mobile devices, one Android, another iOS. First, I will start with Android, and I will use ZAP-Viewer to connect and control it. First, I need to locate and press this button, which brings Environment Manager. On the Environment Manager, I have a list of devices. My Android phone is I have it connected directly to my computer using USB cable. ZAPTEST identifies it as a local device and puts it in the first place in this list. In order to connect your Android device to use it with the ZAPTEST, first you need to have USB driver installed for the device. For many devices you can use a generic USB driver provided by Google, but for some you may need to go to your device manufacturer site and download it from there. Once you have USB driver installed, you should be able to see file system on your device when you connect it through USB cable. Another condition to control the device is that USB debugging must be enabled on your device. It can be enabled by navigating to settings about your device section, finding the build number and start tapping it. After a few taps, device will ask you if you want to enable developers options. After enable developers, you should be able to go inside the developers options and find USB debugging. So USB debugging must be turned on. After that, your device will appear in the device list. Like I have my Android phone appeared here. And from here, you once you click on the device, the Environment Manager will basically it communicates with your device, retrieves information about system, version, model number, and presents a list of installed applications. For Android device, we can control any of the applications. Besides that, we have buttons on the toolbar which we can use to refresh the list of applications if needed. You can use this button to install a new package. You can install provided default web browser. You can press this button to restart the device. You can retrieve its logs. You can capture and view a screenshot of the device. If I click this button, it shows me just a snapshot of what I have on my device at this moment. Also, for enterprise version, we can control device. I'm using free edition, so this feature is not available for me. From the list of installed application, I can select any of the application and simply double-click to launch it on the device and open it in the ZAP-Viewer. I'm going to use the Chrome application, so I double-click the Chrome icon. My device interface appears in the ZAP-Viewer. ZAP-Viewer is a standalone application which can be used to connect and control the mobile device. Okay, once connecting to the ZAP-Viewer, I can close the Environment Manager. My test case will perform login steps on our website. The website already loaded. That was last displayed on the Chrome browser when I close it, so it opens it again once and launch it. If you need to navigate to a different website, you can do this manually by tapping in the address bar. Next part will be for me to create my script. I will use Scan GUI feature, and I will scan the ZAP-Viewer. Once I press the Scan GUI button, I navigate to the ZAP-Viewer and for application name, I will use ZAP just to make it short. And also I can change name for the view. This first view will present this homepage. Okay, on the first view, I need to keep a couple objects. First, I will save this image object for menu, and I will use ZAPTEST logo for validation. I can delete all others. To make it more informative, I can update names of the objects. Let me use menu for my menu button. Also for the ZAPTEST, I want to keep just ZAPTEST text for object validation. I can change both text property and name of the object. Also, I need to change its recognition type to partial, so ZAPTEST excludes any additional characters if it finds it next to the text. I can verify how ZAPTEST finds this new object. It looks good. When I work with ZAP Viewer, I can add steps gradually and execute them. I can also use debugging features available in one script. What I can do when I have test objects available, I can add them to my test script and run. I will start with validating the ZAPTEST logo. We'll use ZAPTEST object and exist method. Then I need to click on the image menu. Let me run the steps. Okay, if I look at my ZAP viewer, it shows me expanded menu items. If I need to see the ZAP viewer during the test run, I need to go to its application object and enable activate window. By default, it will be disabled. Next step for me is to set this view. So click inside the ZAP viewer. I will define new view for menu. All right, from this view, I will select a couple objects. I'll take a couple menu items, one for verification, another for clicking the login link to get to the login page. That's all I need, and I can add those steps. I use this extra exist with different object just for better synchronization, because the page may still load when ZAPTEST and may click it or misclick if it's still refreshing. So this approach ensures that ZAPTEST finds a solution. It gives us a little bit more time to load the page, and then it clicks the login. So this way we can avoid extra waste. Let me save this test. I will run from this step. So this way I can see what happens on the ZAP viewer. The website navigates to the login page. Of course, I need to scan it now. Define view for login. Okay, from this view login page, I need to keep objects which I will use to enter username and password. So let me select those. I will add steps to perform the login. First, I need to verify the username object which belongs to this page. Does exist. Then I can type value for the user ID. This value needs to be parameterized, so I type it without quotes and select use parameter. All right, so with this step, I can type value of the user ID. Next step, I will use to type value of the password. Again, ZAPTEST, we need to use type method, typing operation. For password, I will also define parameter. I can make it encrypted. Okay, so I typed username password. Now to submit the login page, I would need to click the login button, but I know when I have my keyboard expanded, it's partially blocked. I can simply use enter key press. To make this step, I will use application object, type method, and need to provide enter keyword. We'll use this optional false parameter. This disables deletion operation, which by default present type method. Okay, let me run this series of steps. I'm going to use run from this line feature. Go to my ZAP viewer. Look, it was successful. Again, I need to scan this new page. I will name it. From this view, I want to keep welcome greeting. Next part of my test will be logout steps. For this, I need to have this menu image. Okay, for image, I can also change the name. Okay, once we have login done, we need to verify the welcome message. I will use this object and the exist method. Since I have parameterized username and password, there is potential that they may change in the parameters. I need to also parameterize text for the welcome message. I can do this easily by selecting this parameters button and define a new parameter for which will hold the welcome message. Okay, as the next step, I need to click the login menu image menu button. And I can run 2 lines. It prints me my menu page. I will use objects which I already have. First, I can verify the top menu item, which is solutions. Okay, then I need to find user zone. To perform swipe operation, I will add object to, yeah, I can do this with this, since I have solution object here. Swipe per object should be added manually. Okay, for this I need to add new object and change its type to the swiper. Okay, now I have swiper play. I need to position its start and end point properly. So I need to go to the edit mode. Okay, this is my starting point for swiper. This is end point of swiper. This can be adjusted later, but I believe that should be sufficient to swipe until we have a user zone menu. Let me test this swipe step. will use swipe up method. Okay, this is new. I'm going to scan it. Okay, I need couple objects, this and this. I will define this object as relative because I don't want to rely on this image. It will be relative to its parent user zone. Swiper action takes sometimes it may be a second or two, but based on connection and performance. I need to make sure that it's properly synchronized. First, I need to verify the user zone object is there. Then I will wait for a couple seconds. Then I need to click on this extension button, which should make the logo. So let me run this. Okay, as a result, I have new view with expanded user zone menus. I need to get to log out. So I need to capture this one more time as view. The second one. And all I need here is the logout link. Let me run last two steps. It finds and clicks on the logout. So as a result, I have my website got back to the home page. So at the end, I should be able to verify the logo. Okay, now I can run my test from start to finish. For this, I just need to press the run button. A test run finishes, I can open and view test results. My test report shows that all steps completed successfully. I can go to step details. I can explore all related images. So this test is good for an Android device. Alternative way to run with mobile devices is to connect into them to mRun. For this, I need to go to the mRun tab. Here, see the same list of devices that are available. My Android phone is a local device. It's in the first place. When I click on it, on its icon, I'm getting same environment manager dialog. I just need to wait for it to load applications. Once again, I need to select which application I need to control. I'm going to do it for Chrome. And here I can specify the URL. Since I have Chrome already loaded on my device, I can omit this, just click leave empty. So mrun connects to the device, opens application if necessary, and navigates to the provided URL. In my case, it opens same page which I have left from ZAP viewer. All right, from now I should be able to run same test on the Android using the mrun, but I will move on because my next part will be working with another mobile device, iOS device. I have iPad in my device list. This iPad is not local device, it's part of the ZAP farm. When you first connect to an iOS device, depending how you connect to this device, if it's a local connection through USB to the same computer where you have ZAPTEST installed, then you must have iTunes installed on this computer as well. Once you install iTunes, you should be able to connect your iOS device through USB. It will be recognized by the iTunes. In this case, this device will appear in the device list. Once you click its icon, it will also be in the environment manager, where you will have toolbar buttons to refresh the view, install package, install browser, restart the device, get its log, and show the device screenshot. In my case, when I click the show screenshot, it shows me what I have on my iPad at this particular moment. So this feature is useful to see what system messages appear there. When you first connect iPad, you will see empty list of applications. Right now I have 2 applications, but in your case it will be empty. In order to control application through ZAPTEST or ZAP farm, you need to install the proper way. It should be installed using the install package feature. When you select this button, you will be able to navigate to the IPA file for the package for your application. Also, you will need to provide provisioning and certificate files. Those must be developers provisioning certificate. The developer group or team who works on IPA files will be able to provide it for you. Please make sure that provisioning file must include UID of your iOS device. If you need to get its UID, it's available on the main page. You can copy it from here. Once application installed on the iOS device, it will appear as with this icon like this. After that, you just need to click its icon. I'm going to control the ZAP Safari. If it's a browser, you can also specify URL to navigate. I want to go to our website, so type the URL, I'll click the OK button. So ZAPTEST, the mrun will establish connection to the iPad, launch desired application, and if it's a browser, navigate to the provided URL. As I mentioned, iPad is not local device, it's a ZAP farm. When you work with the ZAP farm, device gateway computer, which you may use to connect your devices, must have iTunes installed or a proper USB driver for Android device. Okay, so this is my application on the iPad, and I want to make my test run on this iPad. But the main difference that I see here is that on the Android device I have mobile version of my application. On the iPad I have the regular version of our website display. So this is the major difference. In real life situation, when you face this issue, it will be up to you which way to go. You can update existing script, test script, to make it runnable on either device, or you can decide to make totally different test script if difference is very significant. My goal is to use the same test script. This way I can have single script for all devices. and this will allow me to run my test in parallel using the mrun. So what I'm going to do in one script, I will enable mrun debug mode. Here I need to select my iPad from the list of devices. So I click the iPad. I need to review my test script, account any differences. So I will go line by line. My first line should be I have ZAPTEST object on my regular website version also. Then it goes by clicking image menu. I don't have image menu. Instead, I have list of links available. So I have login link over there. All right, so I'm going to modify my test script. I will use optional step. Inside the if, I will check if the image menu is visible. I use 5 seconds as the timeout for checking. Also, I include second optional argument false, which will disable reporting failure when the object is not found. Okay, if the image menu found that, I need to click it. So I have solutions on my main website page, so I can keep it. It will work for both, and I can click the login. Then login steps should be identical. I should be able to verify a welcome message also. Then again, I need to click image menu, which is available for mobile version. Make another if. Okay, all these steps should be done only on the mobile version. Yeah, this series of steps will be different for my for the iPad. To add steps here, I need to scan GUI available for the mrun debug mode. I press this button. Okay, it will be zone for iPad. Change this object since I did not run my test yet. I can reuse existing object. I forgot I have it. Just set it here. Then I probably don't need that view, or I'll scan it. Okay, next I need to see what menus I have there. Let me run up to this point. I'm going to put a breakpoint, run start up to this. Again, I'm using a debug feature where I have all debugging capabilities available to me. And it will pause on that breakpoint. Click it exists. For convenience, ZAPTEST provides a visible interface of the iPad in a small ZAP viewer. If I on the MRound debug, I could also see live view on the MRound debug tab. Okay, looks like it's able to log in. It finds the user zone and okay, it stops on the breakpoint. Good. Okay, now I can expand the user zone and make a scan. So this way I can get required objects. So let me add. I can reuse existing view. Okay, the element that I need here is the login. There are two logins, one for a button, another for login, which is part of the extended user zone menu. I need to click this one. If I click this one, it will just do logout and brings me to the login page. This is not what I need. Okay, to avoid confusion between these two objects, I will use this logout as relative to this one. Okay, just keep these two. Set this as a parent. Missing steps. Okay, first we need to click the user zone. Once the menu is expanded, I can verify it and click the logout. And these steps should be part of the mobile version of the website. Okay, so I believe I finished my test script. Now I should be able to run it from start to finish. Again, I can do this on the mrun debug mode, or I can switch to the mrun. Here first. I got to do logout. Let me do it manually. Okay, let me open the test results. Okay, test result is good. I don't have any issues. All right, as the next step, I need to be able to run this same test script on both my mobile devices, Android and iOS. Of course, I need to make sure it still runs good on the Android device since I made changes. I will do this on the mrun. On the mrun, we can run on an individual device. So here I navigate to my Android, and I need to press this button to run it on the selected device. So let's make it real quick. Okay, test run was successful. I can open and confirm this in the test results. As a next step, I should be able to run this test on both my mobile devices, Android and iOS. For this, I can go to the dashboard view in the mRun, and here I need to press main run button, which will run my test on all connected devices. Okay, let's run it. On the step view, you can see the cursor, which has two different colors based on color of the connected device title, which helps us to follow the test execution is the script part. You can simply watch the visual part which updates real time. Okay, looks like my I finishes the test run and the Android also. After multi-run execution, the result must include information from both devices. There are two device sections with name of my devices, and here I can see status. If I expand, I can get all detailed information about individual steps. If I expand the rows, I can also see the related images. That will do it, and this is the iPad. Again, all the information available for review. All right, so yeah, this is how we work with mobile devices using either ZAP Viewer or mRun. You can connect to them and use for test development and execution. What else I wanted to show you, in case of required unattended execution, you can use command line execution and connect the devices automatically using pre-saved configuration. How to do this? I'll show you real quick. So disconnect from these devices and connect to them one more time. First, I'll start with Android. Then I need to connect to the iPad. It's important to provide initial browser URL because the browser may be closed on the devices when you run unattended. So this way, the multi-run will connect to those devices, open applications, and navigate to the URL. Okay, now when I have connected to both Android and iPad, I can save two configurations. So I selected Save Configuration from the File menu, define a name. Okay, let me close connection. ZAPTEST. For command, for my demonstration, I will go directly to where we have ZAPTEST executable. Yeah, this is the folder where it's located. I'm going to open PowerShell from here and command. I will type it manually. First, it's name of the application test. Then we need to provide a few flags. This will run our test. This will include reference to the configuration file. Okay, this is the flag that we need to run the test in multi-run mode. The last argument will have reference to the test file. Okay, this is the name of my test file. All right, let me double check. All right, should be good. So when I press enter, my test should start. Of course, the system must launch ZAPTEST, connect to your account. Then, since I have specified multi-run execution, it goes to the mrun tab and connects to the mobile devices using the configuration file. Once the connection to the device is established, test starts running. So here I have tab which displays my iPad. I switch tab to Android. I can see Android's interface. Okay, I can manually open test results to verify it, but if you run it from command line, command itself report status, I have finished run and the location of the test results. So this can be used by CI tool. If you initiate this run from CI, you can get back this information and use it for future steps. So this is how we can use unattended execution through command line execution and saved connection to mobile devices in a configuration. All right, so this is what I wanted to show you. Let's move on to Q&A session. Again, if you have questions, please submit them using private chat. Okay, I have one question came in. Can you use scroll instead of swipe operation? Yeah, good question. The answer is yes, you can use scroll. Scroll to when you work with mobile devices. All those both are supported. Why I used Swiper? Because Swiper provides more smooth swiping gesture. When you use scroll or scroll to, you need to be careful with parameters. It may scroll too fast, it may scroll too far. You need to explore how scroll works against your mobile device and adjust it accordingly. Okay, I have another question. Is it possible to run parallel tests against multiple viewers? Okay, no, we cannot run parallel tests with multiple viewers. First of all, the ZAP-test, when you run it against local application, it's a one-thread execution. You can control only one application at a time. What you can do instead, let me close ZAP-test. It's on read-only mode. You can use a launch command and open ZAP viewer and connect to mobile ZAP viewer. You can even specify which application to use. And this way you can run your sequentially. Right now I'm not using the launch method, launch command, but if I drag the application object, I have option to use launch. From here you can specify device target. It can be defined by platform name, iOS, Android. It can be iPhone, iPad, or you can use its ID if you have multiple devices of the similar nature. I will give you an example. Okay, first of all, I will specify it specified by ID. Where you can find ID, if you go to the devices list, first environment manager, of course, when I see device, it's a serial number. If I go to the to this screen, I have option to copy it from here. So I specified ID. Also, you can specify type of application that needs to be launched. Again, if you are on a environment manager, you can find its type. Let's say for my Chrome, it's com.android.chrome. So I need to type. Okay, so this is the first argument for your launch. Second argument, you can specify URL. Again, if it's the browser, ZAPTEST will use it to navigate. Okay, and this is it. Let me see if I can run it. Let me double check. I wanted to say that this slide will be different for iOS device, but for iOS, instead of ID, you need to include its UDID number. And you also need to see what comes with Android Chrome. Okay, I see. Okay, this is currently working on it. Yeah, it may take some time because the communication between ZAPTEST and device and launching application and things. So as you see, the device pops up on ZAP viewer with proper application and the website. And as soon as it's been launched, ZAPTEST starts the test run. So this way you can test sequentially. You can parameterize the launch command. I use this for the Android, but for iOS it will be different, and so you can run those sequentially. Make sure that you have a close viewer step. If you don't close the viewer, ZAPTEST will run second iteration on the same instance of viewer. And basically, this is it. Okay. Yeah, we don't have any more questions, and we already passed the allocated time. Thank you very much for taking part. I hope this was useful. Please continue using ZAPTEST. If you have any questions, comments, use our forum, submit your posts. We'll be happy to assist you. Again, thank you. Have a great day. Goodbye.